In a remote village nestled deep in the heart of Çanakkale, Turkey, there exists a site of fascination and mystery, known as the United Graves. This unusual and enigmatic graveyard is home to a tale of love, loss, and the eternal bond between two souls that has withstood the test of time. The story surrounding these graves is one that has been whispered through generations, passed down by locals, and fueled by the curiosity of those who seek to uncover the truth. Over the years, the United Graves have become a symbol of devotion, where two lovers, once forbidden from being together in life, are said to have been buried side by side in death. Their graves, according to legend, have since merged together, representing their undying connection that defies both time and fate. The lovers' names, sadly, have been lost to history. All that remains is the powerful and haunting story of their tragic love. Some versions of the tale suggest that the lovers came from two feuding families, much like the iconic characters of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. In this version, their love was forbidden by the intense animosity between their families, who would do anything to keep them apart. Others, however, claim that the lovers were from different social classes, and their relationship was frowned upon by the societal norms and rigid traditions of their time. Regardless of the precise circumstances, the one thing that is universally accepted is that the love between these two individuals was pure, passionate, and undeniable. Despite the many efforts of their families and society to keep them apart, fate had its way, and the two lovers found solace in death, buried side by side for eternity. Their graves, though initially separate, gradually came together over time, symbolizing the enduring strength of their love. The merging of the graves has been described by many as a physical manifestation of the couple's love, transcending the limitations of life and death. It is said that their spirits remain together even now in the afterlife, and those who visit the site can feel their presence lingering in the air. Over the years, a variety of strange and supernatural events have been reported near the United Graves. Visitors, drawn by the allure of the story and the mysterious occurrences that surround it, have claimed to experience sensations and sightings that they cannot explain. Some have heard soft whispers on the wind, as if the lovers are still speaking to one another across the divide of death. Others have described seeing the trees surrounding the graves sway even on calm, windless nights, as though they are responding to an unseen force or presence. Even more eerie are the reports of shadowy figures that appear to move between the headstones under the light of the moon, their forms barely visible yet unmistakably present. One of the most famous stories associated with the United Graves is that of a traveler who ventured to the site out of mere curiosity. The traveler, having heard the legend of the two lovers, decided to visit the graveyard to see the mysterious graves for himself. As he stood before the stones, admiring the quiet serenity of the place, he suddenly felt an overwhelming sense of sorrow and longing, as though the grief and love of the two spirits had been transferred to him. The sensation was so strong that it nearly brought him to tears. Just as the traveler began to process the deep emotions coursing through him, he heard a soft, unmistakable voice whisper his name. He turned around, startled, but found no one in sight. The wind was still, and the graveyard seemed deserted, save for him. Terrified, the traveler began to step away from the graves, intending to leave the site. However, as he took a step back, he froze in his tracks. In the distance, near the graves, two faint apparitions appeared. The figures were translucent and faint, barely visible in the moonlight, but it was clear that they were standing hand in hand. The apparitions acknowledged the traveler with a gaze, almost as if they were aware of his presence, before they slowly began to fade into the mist. Shaken and deeply disturbed by the experience, the traveler fled the site and vowed never to return. The eerie events surrounding the United Graves have not gone unnoticed. Over the years, paranormal investigators and researchers have flocked to the site in an attempt to understand the unusual phenomena that have been reported by so many. Some argue that these events can be attributed to the power of suggestion, the result of a long-standing tragic love story that has imbued the site with an emotional energy that plays tricks on the mind. Others, however, believe that the United Graves occupy a unique space, where the boundary between the living and the dead is thinner than in other places. This thinning of the veil, they argue, allows the spirits of the lovers to manifest in ways that cannot be easily explained. Regardless of one's stance on the supernatural, it is undeniable that the United Graves are a place of haunting beauty and profound emotion. The graves, long since weathered by time, are now overgrown with moss and ivy, their headstones leaning slightly with age. Yet they stand as a silent testament to a love that defied the odds and endured even in death. Visitors who come to the site often remark on the palpable sense of connection they feel to the lovers, as if they are standing in the presence of something sacred and eternal. The site serves as a reminder that love, when it is truly genuine, can transcend the barriers of time, space, and even death itself. To this day, the United Graves remain a revered and respected place, and locals advise visitors to approach with caution and respect. According to local folklore, those who approach the graves with mockery or disrespect may find themselves cursed with misfortune, as if the spirits of the lovers are guarding their final resting place. Conversely, those who come with an open heart, who approach the site with reverence and kindness, may find themselves touched by the lingering energy of the love that resides there. For some, the experience is a deeply emotional one, a reminder that love is a force that transcends everything, even death. In the end, the United Graves are more than just a site of mystery or a tourist attraction. They are a symbol of the enduring power of love, a love that cannot be severed by time or circumstance. The story of the two lovers, lost to time, but forever immortalized in death, serves as a reminder that some bonds are so strong that they cannot be broken. The United Graves stand as a quiet tribute to a love that continues to live on, whispering through the centuries to those who are willing to listen.